If you take one thing away from this video, it's that to make money as a cake baker, you need to be charging enough. Hey cake lovers, so I thought I'd do this video about whether you should consider setting up a cake business in 2026, especially in this economic climate. Setting up as a cake baker in the UK, so I'm talking specifically in the UK because I know in other parts of the world rules are different. It's very straightforward. So you need to register with your local council. Ideally, you should do a level 2 food safety certificate. You can do these online. And you got to register with HMRC. Now you can choose to register as a sole trader or limited company. There are advantages and disadvantages with both of them. But I know when I had my cake business, I registered as a sole trader. You have to make sure that you keep a tally for your costs, your ingoes and outgoings, which you can just do as a simple sort of spreadsheet. Though I know now the rules have changed slightly, that if you're a sole trader and your income is 50k plus, you have to do it digitally. So even if your income, you're not thinking your income's going to be 50k plus, it might just be worth doing it digital at the beginning, instead of having to do that change, because we're hoping your business is going to be very successful. So you've got everything set up. I would have hoped you would have decided what you're going to sell. You don't have to sell everything. There are some people who sell just cupcakes. There are some people who sell just biscuits. There are some people who just sell wedding cakes. You decide. You don't have to be a jack of all trades. When I baked, I kind of started as doing everything. So I did cupcakes, I did everyday cakes, I did loaf cakes, I did wedding cakes, and then at some point I kind of sort of made my offering narrower, just for me, just for what I could cope with. So remember, you don't have to do everything when it comes to deciding what you're going to sell. You need a website. I don't care what anyone says, you need a website. There are a lot of cake bakers that I see that are just either just on IG, just on TikTok. If those platforms go down, because it happens sometimes, where are your customers going to go? And I think people are scared to have a website, but websites in 2026 are very easy. I have a website. This is it here. It's Squarespace. You can use Wix. There's other platforms. A lot of these platforms have templates, so it's not like you have to code everything. Back in the day, and I say this, long time ago, when I made my first website, it had nothing to do with cakes. I taught myself HTML because there weren't sort of platforms like Squarespace and Wix. So I taught myself HTML. You don't have to do that anymore. You just gotta make sure you have your good quality pictures, your text, choose your template, and you're ready to go. But you need to have a website. And I still see so many bakers who do not have a website, and I'm like, you can't go on not having a website. You may, when you're starting off, you may get away with it, but as you get busier, you're going to need a website, because going back and forth in the DMs is not the one. So you've got your website, but obviously you want to promote yourself, get yourself out there more. You're going to go to social media platforms. So you have Facebook. Do not sleep on Facebook. I know Facebook might be like, ugh. A lot of people are on Facebook, and I've seen other bakers who have told me that they get a lot of their business from Facebook. So do not sleep on Facebook. Obviously you've got Instagram, obviously you've got TikTok. Those are kind of the main ones. You know, you have Snapchat and that. I don't really know about Snapchat that much, so I don't really want to talk about it. So get yourself out there, do your videos, do your content, behind the scenes, day in the lives, things like that. One thing I'm going to tell you, you're going to get trolls, because you're going to get people coming on saying, I would not pay that amount for that cake. And you have to kind of just develop a thick skin, because there are always going to be people who are going to say, I can get it cheaper. And yes, they can. But what you have to remember is that not everybody is your customer. Here are two, pages that I think you should follow. We've got the Flower Baby and we've got Agnes de Sook. They're very good at answering trolls because they get a lot of them. And if you feel a bit, oh my gosh, what do I do? Have a look on their page. I would suggest you follow them, so you can just see the amount of trolls that they get. It's like horrendous. Agnes de Sook, this is what I mean about nobody's your customer. She also has a kind of side thing from her main cakes called Hero Cakes, and she sells cake jars. Do you know how much these cake jars go for? £12 per cake jar. And I know there's going to be people saying, I would never pay £12 for a cake jar, but there are people who are. As you can see, this is a bit from the website. It gives this luxury feeling. This is what I mean. If you're providing this luxury feeling, people will have no qualms about paying £12. So you have to remember that not everybody is your customer, but you just have to be like, when they come on and start saying, oh, I can get that in Aldi, or I can get that in Morrison's for £6, that's fine. There is a market for that, but that's not the market that you're in. Costings is very important. As we know, everything has gone up. Butter's gone up, chocolate's gone up, everything has gone up. So you need to be charging yourself enough to make a profit. Otherwise, it's just an expensive hobby. And if you just want it to be a hobby, that's fine. But if you want to make a living with this, you have to look at how much you're paying for ingredients and how much you need to sell to make a profit. And that's when the whole thing comes in about, oh, you're charging too much. Don't listen to people. You know what you need to charge to make money. So it's very important that you get your costings down. So it's a case of, getting all your ingredient costs, how much you use per cake, whatever that you make, and then decide, okay, I need to add money for profit, I need to add money for utilities. I've got to mention, you need insurance as well. Insurance is pretty cheap. You need to have sort of public liability insurance. So you've got all of that before you've even paid yourself a wage. So costings, I'm going to say it again, are very important. Another important thing, I think another important part of cake business is being a community, not even just with people who follow in your customers, but also with other cake creators as well. Don't just see them as being the competition. Get in contact with them, follow each other on social media, and you'll pick up tips and tricks from them as well. So you want to create that community as well. Again, community with your customers as well. So there you have it, some tips and tricks if you decide you want to create a cake business in 2026. I think you can. It is going to be challenging, but there is lots of opportunity out there. And like I say, you decide what kind of cakes or what kind of baked treats you want to offer. You don't have to offer everything. You can just specialize in one particular thing and get really, really good at it. And then your reputation gets out there and people will know you for this one thing. Let me know in the comments if you found any of this helpful. Until next time, cake lovers.